Welcome to Stop Dieting and Start Living podcast. I am your coach, Natalia Rodriguez, and I will be guiding you to get in the best shape of your life for the rest of your life by combining my coaching experience with the psychology behind the human eating behaviors and some simple brain science. Get ready to be coached by me. Hello, my beautiful listeners. I hope you're doing great on this weird holiday season. No matter where you are or with who you are, I hope you are good, safe, and healthy as well as your loved ones. Today, I wanted to talk to you about how eating without distractions can change your life. Let me start by describing one of my overeating days that most probably you don't know how they used to be. This is written a few months ago. I took it from my diary. On that day, I felt like I wanted to let myself go completely intentionally. That's how I felt. I ate when I felt like it and I ate everything I wanted. I was feeling miserable, bored, trying to feel bad about myself, procrastinating my studies and my work so that I didn't know what else to do with myself other than eating. I tried to meditate and ended up falling asleep. Probably that was what I needed. And I woke up trying to be productive, which again, I procrastinated by eating. I guess that is how you end up eating when not hungry. And I think it's okay to have days like that. I forgot everything I planned to do in such cases and let my negative thoughts get me. I try everything, but honestly, not hard enough. My strong feelings of not doing what served me felt so strong that I even forgot what feels right. I tried, but not with the intention that is needed. I talked to myself through it, but not with the kindness I needed. I didn't stop myself also because I thought that was the only way to soothe myself with food. That night after dinner, I kept eating and eating just because of what else I could do. I engaged with my food thoughts without questioning. I felt doomed on that day. I ate in front of the TV and that is all I felt like doing that day. That is a little bit of a wrap up of how I felt some of the days that I was constantly eating without thinking anything else, just about food and what I will have next. And even I was eating broccoli, I wouldn't care. I would just continue eating and eating and eating. So did that work for me? Well, no. I kept feeling that way for a few days, but at least after I didn't feel like I wanted to eat so much anymore. Although to the slight signal of hunger, strong thoughts came back with the urge of eating. So every day after that, I feel like a little bit, not bad, but I will say I try to open my mind to see what I can learn from that, what I did it, what triggered it, because we cannot change what we don't understand. So seek for understanding, it's super important. So this doesn't become a habit or it keeps on going. So I'm here telling you this because I feel like these feelings are important to notice because I feel maybe one day will help someone. You see, my husband is scared that this eating mine becomes a habit. And that was my fear, especially that I've been gaining a little bit of weight. But with the writing and asking me constantly questions, noticing how I feel and trying to make it better every time, I understood that it's pretty impossible. These episodes have been now less and less frequent. And the way I soothe myself sometimes is very different and it has nothing to do with food. So the only way that you can create a habit out of this is without this awareness. This can become a habit, a new way for you to numb yourself and excuse your behavior, which I know many people do. So if you try to understand how you eat and why, the level of awareness you get by eating without distractions will help you, as it has helped me and my clients to realize what feels right to follow, what feels real, what is bullshit or not, and to develop certain skills to rely on the times we feel like this, instead of relying on your willpower. You see, when doing a simple thing, eating without distractions, you start realizing about your fears, struggles, what you eat, the way you eat, what you choose, the food you choose. And with this level of consciousness, you can make a better decision. You will create the power you need to eat when hungry, stop when satisfied, to stop dieting and counting calories, to stop worrying if the bread or the extra spoon of rice is making you gain weight, because the reality is that we all know what we should be doing. Everyone knows that they need to eat vegetables and protein. And so why they don't do it? Because we rely on external things to validate our actions. We stop believing on our intuition. And hear me out, this is not your fault. We were raised this way. But the good news, you can reconnect with yourself and start trusting your ideas and thoughts when you finally stop dieting and make peace with food. Leave the past in the past. That is not who you are anymore. You can decide who you want to be. You have that power in you. So it is simple, but it's definitely not easy, and some accountability I advise to have. Especially because we have the fear of gaining weight. We fear to overeat certain foods. We are scared that we are broken and so we will fail. We are 7 billion people in this world and we are completely different. But I can tell you that for all the people that have tried this approach, with their heart and soul, they all had succeeded. Lose weight, learn the habits of a natural slim person, and feel healthy and content with their lives. Also, forgot about dieting and do not look back. So we all have different experiences and we have different lenses to see the world. And in order to catch those thoughts and those beliefs that are making you fail over and over, when eating without distractions, without any technological device, no magazines, books, music, just focus on your food and on the foods that you want to taste and experience, you will get real with yourself. You will find that kindness in you, the one you need in order to follow what feels right for you. And then is when you get in the best shape of your life and find your true self. Eating without distractions and sitting at the table sound such basic things, but somehow can be so hard. When this happens, you may be running away from something. That is the hard part. And when you do that, it's because you come back to your old habits, running from what the real problem is. That is why it is such a simple guideline, but a very hard one to follow. And from this, all the awareness starts to flourish with acceptance and change. You can be a hardworking mom of 3, and I know it can be hard to do this, but plating your food, putting it on a plate, and eat it without distraction can take you up to 10 to 20 minutes. So if you are super busy, that you really have no time for even a shower, checking in with your body can also a way for creating that awareness. So you just do it by putting the fork down and checking with your body for seconds how the food is tasting, how full or not hungry you are you enjoying the experience? So you definitely not need to be alone or have all the time in the world. When you want, you will always find a way. That is how it always works. Making yourself a priority should not feel like a chore. If you start this journey, I want you to expect hard days, messy days, forgetful days, rebel days. You will have good days too. Don't worry. Relearning to eat like a natural slim person takes time because you want to be natural. So it needs to come from you, not because I tell you to. When I listened to one of Tom Blue's interviews to Leas Brown, he commented that the easiest way to get rid of labels, habits, and beliefs that don't serve you is to believe you can do it. Understand what it is impacting you, what it is holding you back, so you cannot change what you cannot understand. He gives the example of how Americans eat pie that is very different from British. So how to know if you're British or American without hearing their accent, of course, is by eating a pie. And this comes from culture behaviors. So apparently, British eat the pies from the crust to the middle point, but Americans eat the pie from the center of the pie to the crust. That's how you know if the person is British or American. This is how we are tainted by our culture. Many of our behaviors are marked from the behaviors of our culture, our surroundings, our family beliefs, our family ways of doing things. But so in order to know if that fit us and it's good for us and it serves us, we need to evaluate those. And that's the idea. There are things that we live in and can destroy the sense of ourselves. Dominant cultures can distract from yourself. So in a way to reconnect the power within you, discovering the truth about who you are, look for ways to escape for those inner conversations. So when you live your life, it's the story you tell about yourself. But by asking questions, you can disrupt those conversations. The magic is in your mind creating this awareness. You wanted to think that you cannot trust your thoughts. So you have a real conversation with yourself, recognizing the pain, accept that it's in there, give space to investigate what are you feeling, connect your thoughts with your emotions, ask questions and point things out. No judgment, just care and reflect. So eating distracted, it is taking us away from the present moment. And it can be your wake-up call to focus, especially if you're eating when not hungry or you're overeating, eating when your body is already satisfied. So after 8 weeks, eating 3-4 meals without distraction, in my case, I used to eat in front of the fridge sometimes or eat when cooking. What I discovered my real hunger feelings. It is a real empty hole and I feel quite desperate. But this hole in the belly was different from when I thought about food. So I thought when I was thinking about eating, that was my cue to, okay, it's a good idea to eat. But no, it needs to come from my belly. I also discovered that I was having flashes of awareness, what it means. I was never able to leave food on my plate. Now sometimes it's like, oh no, I'm full. And now the fullness feels really full, really heavy. I really feel like I overdo it. And it was like 1 spoon more. It's not that I'm eating more. It's just I am feeling it now. I'm aware. So I am more sensitive to my fullness and my emptiness. I am more aware of the instances when I eat food when I don't need it. So noticing the trends and becoming aware, it means you are in the right path. Remember that real transformations that are forever are going to take time. Like the time it took you to learn those food rules. You are doing right because you wake up every day, show up and try. The healing comes through the writing to get us clear and dig ourselves out. So writing has become a good ally for many. You don't need to do it every day. But when you act in a way that it doesn't feel right, write about it. That's your cue for writing. When something doesn't feel right. Now, how to make this a habit? Start small. If you eat 3 meals on a day and you usually eat distracted all of them, try 1 meal 1 week, perhaps breakfast, or the one that is easier for you. When you master that one, then you move into the other one, and so on. Do not attempt to change all at once. Then chances are you will find it too difficult and you will end up giving up. Remember that your brain is built to protect you from discomfort. So at the risk of seeing some discomfort, he will fire alarm you and make you not want to do it anymore. That is why we're building here some sense of awareness. So you learn to have power and control over your thoughts and feelings with what feels actually right and good for you and your body. Allow yourself to be the student. Practice. Look forward the experience of eating, tasting food, especially if you really love food. Use nice plates, fork and knife, put some flowers at the dinner table, maybe some candles. Plate the food like in a restaurant. Be creative. Care about the food you eat. I know most of the times you may not have time or it's not you serving you the food, but take your time. Be grateful for it and take 1 bite at a time. If you usually eat fast, time your meal and add an extra minute every week. Go to the 15 minutes mark, for example, like a goal. You can do it by putting your fork down on every bite and asking yourself how this food feels, tastes, what could you choose better next time. Also, if it's not so tasty, I encourage you to take action. Toss it. Yes, don't be afraid. People is afraid and feel emotional about this, but if you don't like it, why you have to finish it? You will learn what you like and dislike without having to punish yourself or make your money worth. Those thoughts are not useful. Those are some of the beliefs that we want to rewire from your brain because those create emotions and have no purpose for you, only making you feel bad. So yes, there is many starving children in Africa, but how by eating everything on your plate will help them? So some food waste is normal. Have you ever saw a lion kill, for example? When they hunt, they prey, they eat until they are fully satisfied, and usually there is always leftover for other animals. In that case, yes, if you feel it's too much food waste, save it and give it to someone in need. But understand that by punishing yourself eating what you don't like or overeating it because it's a waste, it doesn't serve you. And that may be the reason why you have some extra kilos or feel bad after you eat. So eating without distraction allows you over time to create awareness about your body choices, food preferences, food portion, and more. It will help you to reconnect with you. In my case, when eating a meal, for example, how it feels passing over the point of satisfaction and fullness, or eating without distractions for a few days, you will notice the body signals and when you feel okay or when you want to eat more or less. Setting a timer and wait if it's still hunger. Then you can ask for a second serving, but give it time. Appreciate what you're eating. That is when the allowing yourself to eat anything at any time comes into place. It's not about overindulging, because when you are fully aware, you won't do it. At least not for after a few weeks or months by practicing this. I can assure you that. So this is it for today, guys. I hope you like it and I inspire you to try it. I believe in you. Thank you for listening, and I hope you liked this episode. And if you did, please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That will support my cause, that is to impact as many of you to stop dieting and start living. For more information, you can find the link in the episode notes. I am also very active on Instagram, where you will find tons of information. Have a great one. Lots of love. Your coach, Nat.